What's up, Diggletdreamers? You got Mathras here, back for another Showdown replay, this time showcasing how to play around the spin block. 2, 3, boom. Alright, so this team I have right here is a Sticky Web Passimian team. Really cool team that I want to use on live later, but unfortunately the Sticky Web doesn't really come into play here because I'm up against a Trick Room team. But Sticky Web is not the reason that I'm trying to showcase this replay. The reason I'm trying to showcase this replay is because I play around the Gamefreak spin blocker really well, and I want to try to pass on that knowledge to anyone that is willing to listen, which might be up to 10 possible people who will view this video. So my spinner is of course my Komala. It is a normal type, which can be useful versus ghost types. Of course, the ghost type does block the spin, but depending on the Gamefreak set, I might be able to wall the Gamefreak as well. That also goes for my Toucannon, which, as you will see in a moment, the Gamefreak does set up toxic spikes, which do not affect my Toucannon because it is flying type. And if depending on the Gamefreak set, might also be able to be immune to any type of offensive move it has if it only has its stab. Before I keep spoiling the battle for us, why don't I just start it up, put it on normal too. So I lead Lantern as he does the Gamefreak. I figured I'd just come in and get a Volt Switch off, be able to take it hit from pretty much anything. So I Volt Switch into my Komala, trying to just not take a Shadow Ball hit, but he does decide to go for the Toxic Spikes, which is an important reveal. That's one of his 4 moves, so I'm well on my way to determining if my Komala and my Toucannon can basically use this as setup fodder. Also really important there, I have U-turn on my Komala. So I'm able to U-turn on the Gamefreak after first setting up a Wish, so I'm able to Wish pass. Which means I can safely bring in my Delphox. Even if he does decide to go for the Shadow Ball, I can get my Wish. But he does decide to go for Trick Room instead, so it doesn't really make a difference. I know I can take 1 Shadow Ball, so I decide to get rid of my Choice Scarf and put it on this Gamefreak, because I know obviously Choice Scarf is not going to be that important in this game. With that gone, I don't want to take another Shadow Ball, so I do decide to switch to my Toucannon. Basically just trying to bait out his 4th move here. He has Trick Room, Toxic Spikes, and his Shadow Ball. And we don't know what the 4th move is, but there's a pretty good chance that it's not a move that affects my normal types. So I go for the Bullet Seed here, actually doing a lot of damage to the Slowbro. Look at that damage. That's a Slowbro. That is a physically defensive monster of Pokemon, and it just took a lot of damage. But he decides to go Gamefreak, and I kind of switch back into Komala. Figured I'd try to get the opportunity to spin as the Trick Room goes down, but I decide that's not the case, as I can't spin on this thing, so I decided to go Lantern instead, as he does go Trick Room. I know he's Scarfed, so I'm able to get off a free Heal Bell right here, as he switches to Aromatisse. And the cool thing about Trick Room being up is that I actually get a slow Volt Switch on this Aromatisse, so he hits me with a Moonblast, unfortunately crits me, but I am able to get the slow switch. Cool thing about all these turns too is I'm also just stalling out his Trick Room. Now here I know he's expecting the spin. He knows he's expecting the spin. Also, cool thing I should mention about Komala is his ability Comatose. Doesn't let him get affected by Toxic Spikes, which is also a great thing versus this particular Gamefreak. And he also hasn't shown a 4th move. It could be like Hidden Power Fighting, it could be Dark Pulse, something like that. But I know I can take those hits regardless, so I have a pretty good position against this Gamefreak right now. Now, knowing that he is going to want to block the spin, I decide to go for U-turn, and as the Gamefreak does come out, I'm able to U-turn out. I mean, keep in mind that this is a whole turn of Trick Room right here, and I can easily bring in my Toucannon, basically just taking the risk that he does not have another move for me, as he does decide to just go for Trick Room there. So I go for the Bullet Seed after my Swords Dance, and it just barely misses out on the KO, and he's able to get the Trick Room back up. But he's Scarfed into Trick Room, so there's no way he's staying in, so I can go for another Bullet Seed. Hitmontop comes out, no Intimidate is shown, and it does go straight down to the Bullet Seed. So basically at this point I'm I'm pretty confident in the fact that my normal types can take on this Configurigus. He goes into his Configurigus there. Not sure why. I was expecting maybe like a Dark Pulse or something. I wasn't really sure what he was going to go for, but he seemed confident, so I didn't want to risk my Toucannon at this point, as it did kind of win me the game later on. With the no Trick Room up, it basically just destroys his team, so I held onto it, and it actually ended up working in my favor, as he does reveal this fourth move, which is Destiny Bond. So, of course, another difficult thing to try to play around, but you know what, this is all Trick Room turns getting wasted. I decided to just go for a Wish, pass this to my Delphox, knowing that U-turn is not going to KO, and it's not going to affect the Destiny Bond at all. Delphox comes out, gets Toxic, of course. I know he's not going for Shadow Ball because he's Scarfed, and I am able to get a nice big Wish off of my Delphox, bringing him to almost full. And then, of course, go into my Lantern. I want to get another Heal Bell off. I don't want my Delphox being Toxic, so he does decide to go Aromatisse there. Wants to get the Trick Room back up. He knows I'm not going to mess around with a Destiny Bond. Go for the Heal Bell. Aromatisse, I think, goes for Trick Room. I know it goes for Wish. Okay. So I decided to go for a fast Volt Switch here, and I go into my Komala, and this is once again, he does not want me to spin at all. So he sets the Trick Room up with his Aromatisse. He does not want these Toxic Spikes to go away, so he is going to go into his Configurigus, and of course I know that he's going to do that, so I'm able to U-turn and get the KO, preventing the spin block for the rest of the game. And my opponent decides to forfeit there, knowing that he has been bested. So that is how you play around a spin blocker, is take your time, let it run its course. I don't know if that makes sense, but like use the best tools you have. Like I had Trick, Choice Scarf I could use. I scouted out its set so that I know that certain Pokemon are set up fodder for it, so I could stall it out. I could whittle it down to the point where I can eliminate it and then successfully Rapid Spin after that. So notice that I did not click Rapid Spin once this entire game, knowing that he had the spin blocker. He didn't even know for sure that I had Rapid Spin, but he still played around it like I did, and I knew he would, which is why I kept going for U-turn and stuff like that. So hopefully you learned something from this. I don't know if you will. It seems a little disjointed, but I only had this battle like 20 minutes ago, so I haven't had a ton of time to really plan out what I want to say, but I did want to show it off. So even if you don't learn anything, it's still a fun, cool replay, and hopefully look forward to this team in a Showdown live soon. But that's all, I guess. Thanks for watching. Keep dreaming. See you next time, and peace out. Shoutouts to Mewmore for this music.